Now we'll do the spur and remove the leg. And the easiest way to remove the leg is take your sharp knife, bend the leg back, and you'll cut a tendon right in this area here. And you can kind of work that tendon down and it'll kind of crack. You can kind of work your way around the tendon there. And that's a spur, foot with spur. We'll show you how to mount the foot like so, and then we'll also show for those people who want to just salvage the spur. But we'll set that aside for right now. Now, I'm not a taxidermist, so I'm sure taxidermists out there have more approved ways to do this, but I know this way works. It's very simple, very economic. We trimmed up our beard earlier when we were processing it, and one of the things that I like to do to help preserve the tail and the beard is 20 Mule Team Borax is a natural preservative. And the only thing that I will caution you about it, it is toxic to children and pets. So once you've processed your stuff or you have some of this out, be sure you put it away so that the children and the pets can't get into it. I poured some into a coffee container here, and after you've trimmed up your beard, you can dip it in this and coat it with that, and it's generally a good idea to let it dry for about a week or so. And if you want to mount it, you can some people just like to have it like so. The other thing you can do is you can take your spent shotgun shell and take a screwdriver or a nail and punch out the primer in the back. And you just put a little piece of thin wire down through there. And you take your beard and you can wrap it around. Tie it up like so. Start to insert it up into the shotgun shell, and then you've got a way to hold your beard up with the spent shell from your successful hunting trip. Again, it's important that you first let this area here, after you've put it in the borax, let it dry out for a few days. The next thing is we were able to save the feet here, and there's some fleshy areas here. You can kind of trim those a little bit. Again, you just dip those in the borax, and that'll help preserve it and keep it from rotting. There's two ways that we can mount the spurs in the foot. Some people like to mount it in such a way that it'll stand up or could be put in a bookend. There's two ways to do that. I'll show you both techniques here in a little bit. But for right now, we've gone ahead and preserved both of these feet. Some people aren't interested in having this. They're more interested in just saving the spur. And the easiest way to do that is just take a hacksaw or a small saw and you cut off right there about a 1/4 inch above it or below it. Just cut through real quick. Throw that away. Okay, once you got the spur off, just take your knife, and there's usually some tissue right in there that'll push out of there with a nail or something. And after you get the tissue out, again, go with the borax and get it pretty well soaked in there, and then let that sit for a week or so too in a safe place away from children and pets. So that takes care of how to mount it this way. The other way that you can mount it if you want to make the bookend, you can put a simple little device together like this. You take your foot, and you can use a variety of material. Probably the handiest is just to get you some zip ties for like wire, and you can put your foot into position. Once you've got it in position, snap the zip tie together and just let it sit for a couple weeks, and it'll harden up and dry up and be in good place. The other thing you can use if you don't have some wire ties, just use some old baling twine and wrap it around, and you can hold it in place like that. Okay, we're going to show you another alternative way to mounting the feet so that they can be used for bookends or stand on their own. And needless to say, you'll have to do this somewhere where you don't have kids and pets running around. So what you do is you just simply find a good solid wall, put the feet up against it, and put a couple bricks. I wouldn't advise doing this in your living room, and simply leave it like that for a couple weeks and it'll harden up and you'll have your foot mount. Pretty quick and simple.